Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I see wonderful things coming into the chat. So continue to utilize the chat for the duration of this event. We have about 35 minutes with each other. We will get to know all things about Spelman and Morehouse. And I am Destiny Robinson. I am a course success manager here at Neon, and I work with both the Spelman and the Morehouse teams. So the purpose of this event is for you all to learn more about Spelman's campus and Morehouse campus. However, before we get into teaching you or sharing those things with you, we want to see your knowledge. So we are going to play a little SpelHouse trivia, right? And I, for one, do not like playing games when there is not a prize. So of course I have a prize for two lucky scholars. Now, unfortunately, if you are a part of the Spelman or Morehouse campuses, you can play trivia, but you cannot win. Okay, so the winners can only be scholars, and the rules are really simple. So every question has one correct answer. You are going to put the letter that matches the correct answer in the chat. There are two amazing teaching fellows. Some of you may know them. Their names are Zoe and Mark that are watching the chat like hawks. As soon as they see the first correct answer come in, that person is going to get the point. Really simple, right? So, an example, if I give you four options and the answer is A, you are just going to put A. You do not have to put the entire word. Like you do not have to put the entire answer, okay? So we're gonna make that really, really, really simple. And we have a few folks coming in, so I wanna let them join us and participate. All right, so I'll say the directions one more time. You are only gonna put the letter that corresponds with the answer for trivia. And a few housekeeping things, just please make sure that you have your actual like full name so that the teaching fellows can make sure that they're assigning the points to the correct folks and we can send you your gift cards. Make sure that you keep yourself muted for this portion. Teaching fellows may come off of mute. Morehouse and Spelman alumna, staff, faculty may come off if they have something to add to the question. I know last time we ran this, there were some discrepancies. So other than that, scholars, stay on mute, only write the answer, the correct answer letter, and we're ready, okay? All righty, let's start. Also, you're only gonna have 10 seconds. All right, here we go. First question, what does HBCU stand for? 10 seconds on the clock. Okay. So HBCU stands for Historically Black Colleges and Universities. Next up, what year was Morehouse founded? 1994, 1867, 1884, 1900. 10 seconds on the clock. Okay, here comes the answer. 1867. All right, next up. What year was Spelman founded? 1881, 1867, 1967, 2002. The chat is going crazy on my end. I just see 99 plus. Okay. 10 seconds are up. The correct answer is 1881. Next question. What are Morehouse College's colors? Maroon and white, blue and red, black and white. Okay, here comes the answer. Maroon and white. And Mark gave that answer away because he actually has on a Morehouse jacket right now. All right, next question. What are Spelman College's colors? Pink and blue, Columbia blue and white, red and gold, or maroon and white? And we have the answer coming up. C, Columbia blue and white. Okay, you all would know that if you paid attention to the little emblem in the side of your Canvas page. Okay. Next, what is Spelman's mascot and what does it represent? Panther, jaguar, peacock, or dove? And I gave you 2 extra seconds for that one because these answers are kind of lengthy. All right. The correct answer is a jaguar. It represents strength, grace, and pride. Next, which famous civil rights leader attended and graduated from Morehouse? Is it Cesar Chavez, Martin Luther King Jr., or Rosa Parks? And we have the answer coming up. It is B, Martin Luther King Jr. I hope everyone got that one correct. We'll see. Next up, which TV show from the 1980s and 90s introduced many people to HBCU life and filmed scenes on Spelman's campus? Is it The Real World, A Different World, Saved by the Bell, or Fresh Prince? Okay, here goes the answer. A Different World. I see some head nods here. Okay, okay. All right. Next question. Which building on Morehouse's campus hosted the 1996 Olympic basketball events? Is it Archer Hall, Harvey Stadium, Robert House, or Forbes Arena? And quick little fact, all of these are buildings on Morehouse's campus. And here's the answer, Forbes Arena. All right. What famous philanthropist family helped fund Spelman's early years and gave the college its name? Is it the Obama family? Is it the Kennedy family? Is it the Rockefeller family? Okay. It is the Rockefeller family. I hope no one said the Obama family based on the founding date question that we went over early on. All right. What famous Morehouse alumni locked MLK Sr. and other members of the Board of Trustees in a campus building? Is it Drewski, Samuel L. Jackson, Spike Lee, or Sean King? All right. Fun fact, on top of a fun fact that's coming up in the answer, three of these folks are actually Morehouse alum. So that would be, well, I can't tell you because I'm going to tell you the answer, but I'll tell you the answer in a moment. So the answer here is Samuel L. Jackson. So Sean King and Spike Lee actually did go to Morehouse as well. Drewski did not. All right. Last question. What was the first SpelHouse course offered to Neon scholars? Okay. And here is the answer. Spelman's Education of Black Girls was the first Spelman course offered to Neon scholars. So I really am excited to see who won. Mark and Zoe are going to tally up those answers, and the winner will be announced in Canvas announcements to the entire course, both Spelman's course and Morehouse's course. And you all will receive a cash gift card. So let's give a round of applause. Throw some exclamations, claps, all of those things in the chat. And I'm so excited to see who the winner is, to see if it is someone taking Spelman's course, or if it's someone's taking Morehouse Social Problems or Spelman's African Diaspora in the World. I'm sure your professors are really excited to see those results as well. Thank you so much for playing, and I hope that you learned a bit more about Spelman and Morehouse. Now, we are going to actually have some words from your wonderful professors. So not really as much as a meet and greet as it is, because you've seen so many videos from them. But they will just share their experiences, why they love their courses. And if you have any questions for them, please drop them in the chat and they will absolutely get to them. First up, we have Dr. Welcher.
So greetings, everyone. So glad that we have this time together and that you joined us. I always love the SpelHouse trivia as a Morehouse professor and a Spelman alumna. I got 100 on my score, but apparently I couldn't win a prize, so I didn't drop my answers in the chat. But nonetheless, super excited to have y'all here. I am so grateful for the relationship that Morehouse has with Neon. Although Social Problems wasn't the first SpelHouse course offered, it was the first Morehouse course offered with Neon. And every year since beginning offering the course, it's been amazing to hear the conversations that you all have with your co-teachers and your teaching fellows, the things that you're thinking about, things that you now have words for that you didn't have words prior to this course. I tell you, it is just absolutely amazing. And the fact that so many of you all are able to get a little taste of what we love so much about teaching and being here at Morehouse. So I'm not exactly sure how long I have to talk because Destiny didn't give me a specific time limit. So I'm going to wait for a cue to stop. But it is my hope, particularly in 2025, as we look at so many social problems that are happening right now, that now you have the tools to be able to intellectually and strategically talk about it, engage it, perhaps impact change, think about ways to impact change. But the purpose of this education is not just so you can say you're smart. It's not just so that you can brag about being in a Morehouse class or getting college credits, but so that you can go out and impact the world. our mission is all about leadership and service at Morehouse College. And I'm so grateful to be able to give that tool to so many people in times like today. So I hope that you're enjoying the class. I hope that you're getting something out of it. And more importantly, and most importantly, I hope that you take it and do something great with it because the world needs sociologists. So thank you, Neon, for this opportunity. Thank you for continuing to share and spread our Morehouse sociology love with everybody. Mark, thank you for all that you do as our lead TF. And just so grateful for the opportunity. So thank you, Destiny.
No problem. Thank you, Dr. Welcher. Now we will have words from Dr. Richardson.
Good evening, everyone. If you guys are with us and
Good
paying
evening.
attention, just shoot some hearts up while we're talking. I just want to say good evening. I'm so happy to be here. I am very excited that you all have the opportunity to get the content for this course before you get into college. There are so many things about African diaspora in the world that are foundational to you building your own identity, understanding that your own history didn't start in enslavement, going back into antiquity, looking at um, all the things that people who look like you have contributed to the world. And there's so many things. Resituating Black people and women in historical conversation that has been, kind of glossed over or omitted. So I love it. I love that you guys are engaging with deep content and you're doing it so well. I hope everybody is reading, 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 because that is how we, as Dr. Welcher was talking about, that's really how we change the world. Pun intended with Spelman's tagline. But yeah, so happy to be here. If you guys have any questions for us, let us know.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Dr. Welcher, really quickly, could you just share why you developed the social problems course and how you think it's relevant to the current times?
Oh, gladly. So I'll start here. The discipline of sociology literally explains how people relate to one another, how we relate to institutions, and how the social context in which we live matters, right? So teaching this class in the 2020s, post the pandemic, is very different than teaching this class in the 20 teens, right? Because the entire world has been shaken by the pandemic. Now I can even argue that since the November election in 2024, the entire world has been shifted. So the course wasn't created to address any time specifically, rather all times. So when we look at these big social problems, right, and you all recall your very first lecture where we defined the 4 criteria that create a social problem, when something can raise or rise itself to the level of a social problem. Since that time, not one of the social problems that I covered in this course back in the 2010s has gone away, right? The problems have morphed, they've modified, they've intensified, but they're still social problems. So the fact that we can still engage them using our theoretical perspectives, using all these tools, using one another as experts and resources, right? I'm not sure if you all are still reading Freire, but that is what I gave as pre-reading, right? This notion that we are all experts in something. We all have something to add and to bring into the classroom. So yes, I have the PhD in sociology. I own that, right? Mark's experiences completely circumvent my experiences. So the fact that you have us together becomes an invaluable combination of tools. So the social problems course brings to your attention social problems, right? We can say that. But looking at social problems in 25, right? The fact that 300 Black women have now been displaced because of the federal government layoffs, right? The fact that we're almost a month into the federal government being shut down, the fact that I just heard today that TSA may be going on strike, right, in November. These are all social problems. We can look at the economy, right? We can look at gender. We can look at race. There's so many social problems that you all now have the tools to discuss in an intelligent way. So the reason that this course was created was to, one, define what are social problems versus what are just things that we complain about. And then two, to use that gift of the sociological imagination to really try to make this world a better place by addressing those social problems. So in a nutshell, I get very excited about this stuff. If y'all haven't gotten it from my lectures, here you go. You're getting it for free now, right? But the truth of the matter is, these social problems are big, ugly issues, right? But now you can talk about it like a sociologist, like a scholar, with the tools that matter, as opposed to, the sort of uncle in the barbershop stories, right? Because those are valid too. There's a place for that. But in the classroom, in this intellectual space, you belong because you have so much to offer, so much to give, because your response to the social problem, your experience is very different from mine or Mark's or other classmates, and your voice may be the difference maker.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Welcher. Dr. Richardson, same question. African diaspora in the world. What goes behind you creating that course? Why is it relevant now?
So ADW is a flagship course for Spelman College. So this is a course that's been taught for over 20 years there. The book that you're reading, the readings that come from Gomez was one of the people who created the course. So, 20 years later, we're still teaching the course. Of course, we're updating content. We are changing how we approach certain things, but the purpose stays the same. It's important for us to learn our history, and you guys have to learn it. And you have to learn the truth about the history because we're going to need you to pass it along, as we are living in a time right now where people are trying to erase history in our faces. Um, I was just looking the other day, I believe it was in Texas, where the governor was trying to push for a teacher to get, fired because of teaching some historical truth. So it's very important right now that we engage with our history, that we learn it, that we understand where we come from, because there is a word from Ghana, Sankofa. It means that you have to return and fetch it. So you have to know where you're coming from so that you can know where you're going. Partly because we need to look at the wisdom of the elders and the ancestors to understand and to be able to even, back to Dr. Welcher again, even be able to analyze what's going on. So in our social landscape, but also so that we can find creative ways to move forward, so that we don't repeat the issues of the past, so that we, continue to be creative in how we move forward, and we come together and we do the work that we need to do. But we have to know our history. We cannot allow that to be taken from us. So this class is very timely right now. And I'm glad that it's, that so many are able to take it on a wide scale right now.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. And thank you for the work that you do. I see a lot of things in the chat. Scholars are asking questions. Scholars are saying they love these courses. So thank you all so much. Next up, we are going to hear from your course's lead teaching fellows. And they're going to share with you all why they picked Spelman and or Morehouse. So Zoe, you're up first.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Zoe Shepard. I'm a graduating senior health science major at Spelman College from Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm the lead teaching fellow for Spelman's course, Assisting and Teaching African Diaspora in the World, or we call it ADW. I had Dr. Richardson as my professor. I think she's the best professor for the course. So if any of you all end up at Spelman, you know who to register with. I chose Spelman because I was looking for a community made by Black women and for Black women. That was really important to me. I knew that I wanted to be in an HBCU environment. I wanted to be in a place where people valued education and intellectualism and were interested in exploring the things that they were interested in. And so you can find people here who are interested in everything, whether that's the sciences, that's the arts, the humanities. If you like to build and you like to craft, like there are spaces for you here at Spelman. I've gotten to be a part of so many unique experiences and experiences that have grown me as a person. I serve currently on the board of trustees, and that's been an amazing experience for me. A lot of things that have grown me as a person and also allowed me to connect with other people. And I've met some of my lifelong friends at Spelman. I've met professors who have poured into me, who have inspired the things that I want to do and shown me just what's all out there. So Spelman has been a really amazing place for me to be planted and for me to have grown over these couple of years. And I'm really excited about what the future holds, and happy to answer any questions you guys have about Spelman College, as I know some of you guys are in your years where you're starting to apply and think about where you want to go and where you want to have impact.
Thank you, Zoe. Please feel free to ask her any questions. You have a wealth of knowledge right here. Next up, we will hear from Mark.
Hello, beautiful people. Especially my lovely, lovely students in the chat. I've seen a couple of y'all. Hi, my name is Mark Riggins, for those of you who don't know me. I am a graduate of Morehouse College, class of 24, sociology major, history minor. I do historical comparative sociology, sociology of law, and soon to be behavioral sociology as my research takes me forward. I've done a lot. I've done a lot of teaching for the social department, as well as for Neon. This is my second year being a teaching fellow, and my first time being the lead teaching fellow representing Morehouse. So, um, I not to toot my own horn or nothing, but I've done pretty good work, and I owe all of the skills that I have amassed to do all that work to Dr. Welcher in the social department for just really molding and shaping me. Morehouse and I have a very interesting relationship because I adore Morehouse. Although we've had, our share of tussles with one another. But I am also a third generation student of Morehouse College. So my grandpa went to Morehouse, my uncles went to Morehouse. I've got some younger cousins who are currently at Morehouse, and of course I went to Morehouse, right? And I also grew up literally up the street in the West End. So like Morehouse is really and truthfully my bread and butter. Um, One of the things I love the most about Morehouse is the community. I know that sounds like super duper cliche, but Morehouse is one of those places where you can be as resistant to like the whole we're all one community and we love each other and all of that. You can be as resistant to it as you like. By the end of your time there, you will adore and like go to bat for pretty much anyone who is a student at that college. So it's as somebody who was one of those students who like really did not initially like the whole like oh I'm part of the team or whatever, especially as someone who came in during COVID and didn't have to initially immerse myself in that. um I came out loving Morehouse as much if not more than a lot of people, and even to this day if I go out to like do something for sociology or just in general, you better believe I will. I just went to present actually my research at the American Sociology Association's annual conference. And even though I've graduated from Morehouse, right, and I went up there under my own power, I still was up there representing Morehouse. So yeah, I adore how much they support me. I adore how much the faculty are willing to support the students, even against like administration. Dr. Welcher, for one, is one of those professors who will fight tooth and nail for you. And like it's nothing, right? She can do it as easy as breathing. So that's the type of place that Morehouse is, and I love it to pieces.
Thank you so much, Mark. If you all have any questions for Mark, I know you all know him. A lot of you guys in the chat saying W Mark, go to TF. He has so many classes this semester, so it makes sense. Next up, we are going to hear from some notable alumni. So they have taken the time to come and spend time with us and talk to us about their experiences. They are super, super successful folks. So please give them your attention and make sure you're asking them questions. First up, we have Miss Bria Simone Henderson, who is an all-around artist and Spelman alumna.
Hi, thank you for having me, and hello, scholars. I'm honored to be here today. I'll speak briefly about my time at Spelman. I'm Spelman class of 2015. I feel very old saying that. But I was a drama major, and I went on to work in the entertainment industry and do some pretty cool things so far. I feel like Spelman was like a second home for me. I needed a space to just figure out who I was, who I am, and who I wanted to become. And I feel like Spelman gave us the space to just be ourselves, especially as Black women in this world. some of my dearest friends and my closest friends I met at Spelman. The drama department was where I basically lived, and I grew not only personally but also creatively as well. And it helped me really figure out who I was and how to stand in my purpose, how to stand in who I wanted to be, especially leaving Spelman and being met with a lot of challenges that the world is going to come with. I feel like Spelman equipped me and gave me the tools, but also it gave me the roots of who I was. And that's why I'm able to kind of move through the world and through different spaces the way I am. And honestly, I had my 10 year this past like 2 weekends ago, and it was great. I hadn't been to Spelman since I graduated, and I just felt like back at home all over again. And all of those like old feelings of just like love and comfort and warmth like came back instantly. And so yeah, that's my little spill.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And congratulations on 10 years. That's so
Thank
great. That's
you.
a
Thank you. Thank
milestone.
you. Thank you. Thank you. It was so much fun.
No problem. And next up, we have an all-around artist, entrepreneur, all of the things. Mr. Shaquille Lampley, you are up.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, you're good now.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. How are you guys doing? First off, thank you, Neon, for having me, and special shout out to my favorite person, Dr. Adria Welcher. Um, I'm Shaquille. Most people know me as Flowers or DJ Flowers. I work in the music industry. Well, above all else, I'm a sociologist. I'm a sociology major. Well, graduated from Morehouse College with a sociology degree. So the foundation of everything that I do is from the scope of a sociologist. But I do work in music now. I'm an A&R and DJ. I work with I work with Mike Will Made It. I'm at the studio now. We're about to, can you guys still hear me? Can you all hear me?
Yes, you're good.
Okay, actually about to celebrate a Billboard entry because a song that we have that's pretty popular now. It's a song by Mona Leo called "Putting You Down." That's one of our actual records, and it just hit 39, so we're gonna go and celebrate that. But um, Morehouse, that was the best decision I ever made. Me actually working directly with Mike Will Made It started with me being at Morehouse and engulfing myself in the Brotherhood. Through me doing that and networking with my brothers, I met a person named Brendan Fontaine who had a clothing brand. He wanted me to pretty much, I guess, model for his brand. After I modeled for his brand, I met a girl there who lived in Atlanta named Juliana, and she introduced me to her friend named Ralph. Ralph ended up introducing me to Mike Will, and that's how I was able to get my whole entry and foot into the music industry. And now I'm about 5 years in with Mike, and I've done amazing things with him. I've been able to travel around the world. I've done boiler room concerts with Mike Will. I've done stuff with Forbes with Mike. We just did something with Amazon, and we did something with Red Bull Music. So a lot of great things, but all of these things started with my decision to go to Morehouse. I cannot stress that enough, and I'm sorry, guys, if my voice is a little harsh. My daughter was just sick, so I think I might be getting a little sickness from her. So I do apologize. But,
Well, no problem. Thank you, Shaquille.
um,
For what we could hear, it was very
sorry, y'all.
valuable.
Again, I'm in the studio. My bad, bro. What's going on?
No, you're
Um,
good.
um, okay. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, sorry, guys. I'm so sorry, Dr. Witcher. Please don't be mad at me. But okay, I hope that I did answer your questions. I hope I gave you guys a good spiel. If you guys want to reach out to me, you can get my information from Dr. Witcher. If there's anyone here who wants to be creative, I don't just do music. I did clothing for a very long time. I do a lot of creative direction with Mike. So if it's video, photography, painting, I have friends who work within the arts, all of these things. I'm a huge asset and resource. And I want to be and extend that to you all. So again, congratulations for you all to being in this course. This is huge. I'm from Mississippi. We didn't even have an opportunity like this, so it's a blessing in itself. to be able to do this. And I do thank you all for giving me your time. Hopefully I'm not too long-winded, but
No problem. Thank you so much, Shaquille. Thank you for being out. Thank you for being here. We have a question for everyone. So the question is, what advice can you give or advice you wish someone would have told you when you were still a high school student before you got to college?
I can take a stab at it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think I guess I can answer this question in two parts. One, the advice I wish somebody actually hadn't gave me, which was pretty much all of my high school teachers, was the sort of like fear mongering, if you will. Like I'm sure we've all heard it where it's like, you can't do this because in college, they're going to roast you alive and tie you to a stake or something. Like it's college is really not that frightening, right? And I think what a lot of people where a lot of people trip up is that they come in as a freshman and they assume that college will be like one of the hardest things that they'll ever do and that it's impossible. And like if it's easy, they're messing up and they psych themselves out, right? So I wish people hadn't given me that sort of like fear mongering advice. And on the other side, advice I wish somebody had given me is you do not win points for stoicism in college. Everybody loves to be like, when you're in college, you're gonna be on your own. It's up to you to make. No, when you're in college, your job, especially as a freshman, is to ask for as much help as possible. It'll be embarrassing, sure. We as people are very discouraged for whatever, especially nowadays for like asking for help. Um, and my students have heard me say it before. When it comes to college, you can either you can be embarrassed or you can pass. I mean, you can be embarrassed or you can fail, right? You can be embarrassed asking for help, and you'll get help and you'll succeed, or you can decide that you just don't feel like putting up with, that tension and you can suffer as a result. Ask for as much help as possible because your professors, 9 times out of 10, will give it to you. They'll help you out. And they will, I mean, Dr. Welcher, who rescued me from the history major at Morehouse College, if it hadn't been for her telling me changing your major is easy, you just fill out a form and you email it to me. I wouldn't have changed my major. I spent so much time as a sociology minor because I was like, I have to finish the history major and I don't know how. And she was like, no, it's cool. Don't worry about it. Which could have been something I went through a lot earlier had I just asked for help. Right. So learn to ask for help very quickly.
Thank you, Mark. I like
um,
solid
uh,
advice.
do you want to go?
I can go real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would say to be open to all of the possibilities. I think coming into college, I knew what I wanted to do. I was like, okay, I got to do X, Y, Z, A, B, C. And you learn so much in college anyway. So it kind of has a way of breaking you down, whether or not you want to be broken down. So it's a process and then you will grow through it. But there are so many opportunities and things I have done and people that I have met just serendipitously, just by going to something random on campus that I didn't think I'd be interested in. And I end up meeting somebody and that ends up being my internship for the summer. And then that internship connects me to my next opportunity. There are so many things that I didn't think I would like. I didn't see how that was going to fit into my story. And it has been some of my most fruitful and meaningful experiences. And so, even if you're interested in one thing, take advantage of everything that's here, the people that are here, the wealth of knowledge that exists in one space. That's what's so unique about college. It's like these people from all over the place. Some of my closest friends right now are from places like Arizona, Arkansas, Mississippi, all over the country. And all of these people are coming to one place and bringing their experiences and their knowledge, their intellect. And you just have that on all of these levels in college. So be open to the experiences. Don't be so narrow-minded. Don't be afraid to fail and fail fast. If it's going to go wrong, just let it and then pivot. And enjoy the experience because it goes by really, really quickly.
I love that. Absolutely. It's just really solid advice. Bri, I see you're off mute.
Yes, I was like waiting. You know, it's like, you know, on Zoom, it's always that game where it's like I'm gonna let someone else go if I hear a voice, but I don't know. So what I will say is, especially when you're a high school senior about to apply to college and doing that process, for me, what I would have loved someone to say was that when you know, you know, and you know, you're still a kid, and college is that bridge of like, I'm not a kid anymore, and you're walking that bridge until you're like, woo, I'm an adult. And so I think that decision of even wanting to go to college and what college you want to go to, I think is the beginning of you starting to trust your inner voice. And I think that's where it starts there because it's such a big decision. And it's the decision that you'll make that you're away from family, you're away from your first ever home where it's going to be you. And yes, it will be you with a lot of professors, it will be you with mentors, it will be you with other students, but it is you. Like I remember, for an example, you know, in high school, school starts at what, like 7 or 8 a.m. And so getting up to catch the bus was nothing to me. I could get up very early and catch the bus. So when I went to Spelman, I was signing up for my freshman year classes. I was like, oh yeah, I'll take a 9 a.m. class. Baby, let me tell you, honey, nothing saw me at 9 a.m. Huh? Nothing. And I was like, now how was I able to do that at home, but I can't do it here? Oh, because my dad and mom would say, Bria, it's time to get up. It's time to wake up. And so I think when you truly know what schools you want, you truly know what schools you're interested in. And I will tell you this, I kind of had like blind faith in choosing Spelman. I had never been, I had never visited. I would just look on the website and look at YouTube videos and I was like, I want to go there. Black women, I want to go there. They look like me. I want to go there. And my mom thought I was crazy. You haven't even visited the campus. I didn't need to. That was my number one, number two, and number three choice. And I had scholarships to other schools. My parents were like, that's free money, girl. Take it. And I was like, no, whatever I end up having to deal with to go to this school and be at this school, I will do because that's where I want to go. And I don't regret it. It was the best 4 years, some of the best 4 years of my life. It helped me become who I am today. And as soon as I touched campus, it was just like, it just made sense. And so I will say that take the advice from people, talk to people who went to college. Don't talk to someone who has not gone to college. You need to start asking advice from people who have been where you want to go. So ask people about their experiences in college who have taken the route of choosing education past high school and see what the important factors were for them that they chose their college of choice as well. So that's what I would give. Like, you know, when you know, ask advice, but truly it's got to be your decision because your mama, your daddy, your auntie, your grandma, they ain't going to class with you and they're not going to wake you up to take you to class either. That's what I'll say.
That is solid advice. I always tell everyone, never take the 9 a.m. Not as a freshman. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Okay, so thank you all so much for your feedback, for your questions, for sharing your experiences. We really have enjoyed it. And I know we are a bit over time, but scholars, the last part of this program, we want to tell you a bit about your transcripts, right? You are taking these courses at Spelman and at Morehouse. We have a bit of information to share with you so that you can make sure that at the end of the semester, your transcripts are good to go and your college credits are accounted for and you know how to do that. So we have the lovely Sasha, who is my colleague at Neon, to share some insights about transcripts with you all.
Hi, y'all. I will try to make this very quick so you can get on your way, whether you're headed to something in the afternoon or it's past dinner time. We will go through this quickly. But yes, we just want to make sure that if you're taking these courses and you are passing, you get real college credits from Spelman or Morehouse or any of the other college courses you take with us through Neon. And so you want to make sure that you actually get those at the end, make the most use of them. To do so really quickly, what's a transcript? Basically, there are three different kinds that you're going to have. One is your high school transcript, and that's going to be all of the classes you take in high school that may or may not show those dual enrollment credits that you take through colleges, just depending on whether or not you're getting dual credit or depending on how your school ends up adding those to your high school transcript. The second is your unofficial college transcript. It looks just like your official one, but this one is mostly used for like record keeping. You can use it for your college applications, for scholarship applications, basically anywhere you need to prove like I took this college course, I passed it, but isn't technically considered official because that has to go directly from one college to another or from your college to an institution that's asking for it. So on the screen right now, you see what an unofficial transcript looked like. It'll always tell you like unofficial at some point on there. The official one will say it's an official transcript. And that one, like I said, will have like some sort of either like special electronic seal if it's being sent electronically or like encryption, or if it's sent via mail, it'll be like sealed up, literally cannot be opened. Otherwise, it's no longer considered official. So just keep that in mind when you're looking to get your transcript. A couple important steps. One, keep records. So when the course is over, make sure you go to the Neon course catalog, which I'll drop the link for those in the chat later. But that'll basically, you can go to your course and see the syllabus. You can see a bunch of information about it that you might need if you're trying to transfer those credits when you get to college. That's just a nice resource for you when you need it. Also, your unofficial transcript, you'll want to ask your co-teacher or your counselor for that when the course is over. Basically, Morehouse or Spelman, both of them, will end up sending PDF versions of all of your unofficial transcripts to a point of contact at your high school. And so they'll have a digital version of your transcript within 2 months of you finishing your course. So if you need that for college, your applications, if you're a senior, just make sure like in mid to late January, you check in with your teacher, so you can always send it along with your application after the fact. If you're a junior or a sophomore, ask for that. Make sure to save it somewhere safe on your computer or send it to yourself via email so that you have it for later. And that's just, again, so you can use it for your applications or other uses later. And then your official transcript. There are going to be instructions in our transcript guide that walk you step by step how you can get your one free transcript. For both Spelman and Morehouse, you have to email the registrar at those universities directly. We have like a sample email that you can send. You just plug and play your information. So that's what you want to do when you actually have like decided like I'm going to, whether you're going to Spelman or Morehouse, or if you're going somewhere else, you're like future college, I'm going here and I know I'm going there. Basically, in order to transfer your credits, your advisor or the registrar will ask you to send your official transcript. So that's when you'll follow those instructions, but you only get one of those for free. Any other ones you have to request later are going to cost you money. So make sure to use that one when you're ready for it. Also, once you actually start college, pay really close attention to deadlines and policies around credit transfer. Sometimes you have to do it within X number of days or weeks of starting a semester in order to get that credit. And you want to make sure that you actually, use the credits that you've earned. And then just stay informed. Make sure that you know what deadlines you need, what it's going to fulfill for your major or your elective credits. It can transfer in a lot of different ways. Just make sure that you talk to your advisor once you get to campus about what that can look like and how that can help you. Okay, like I said, I mentioned a couple of resources, one to give you a quick idea of what those look like. On the left is our transcript guide that includes details on how to find or request your unofficial or official transcripts for each of our university partners. You can just click on the name of the university in the table of contents or the course that you took, and then it'll take you to the relevant instructions. Like I mentioned before, the course catalog includes official names, numbers, course descriptions, learning objectives, and syllabi, which your future college may need in order to transfer those credits. So again, just click on the course in the table of contents, and you'll find all of the information that you need. I will throw these in the chat just so that you all have them, but we will also send these, via email and at the end of the semester with the final grades. And if you ever need them, you can email us at transcripts@neonopportunity.org. So just tips, things to remember. Start early in this process. If you are a senior, make sure you're getting on collecting all of your transcripts and your information for college early. Make sure to self-report your college courses in your college applications. There are places in the Common App and the Coalition app, basically every application to include like college classes you've taken while you're in high school. So if you have questions about where to find that, let us know. We have a couple of guides, one for the Common App, one for the CSU application. We're making some others, but keep an eye out for those if you have any questions about how to do that in your college applications. And colleges will not know that you have taken a college course with a different institution. Sometimes they don't even know when you're applying if you've taken a course with their institution. So make sure that you brag about yourself on your applications that you have done this. This is really a big deal and you should be really proud. And so own that. And like I said, we don't have access, Neon does not have access to your transcripts, but if you have issues trying to get yours, please let us know. We are very happy to help you. All right, I'm done. Thanks, Destiny. Back to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sasha. All right, so we are done here. If you did not win the trivia, we still have a treat for you. So your professors were very gracious and they have allowed you all to get extra credit for attending this event if you just do a short reflection. So here is the feedback form. We just want to see how you feel about the event, if you have anything to share to make it better. And this is the code that you will use in your Module 8 SpelHouse reflection. So once you put that code in for Module 8 SpelHouse reflection, it will unlock that activity in Canvas. You do your reflection. It's graded, you get your extra credit. If you have Mark, you know he loves extra credit. So this is extra credit. But thank you all, scholars. Thank you so much for spending time with us, for asking amazing questions, for being here and being engaged. Thank you, Dr. Welcher. Thank you, Dr. Richardson. Thank you, Bria. Thank you, Shaquille. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Zoe. Thank you, Sasha. Thank you, Laura, for joining us. Thank you to everyone. I hope you all have an amazing night. Bye.